one of the things that SidewaysData supports is interfacing with motorsport registration. So SidewaysData has its own registration system. So for example, here's an event listed on the homepage, and we can go here and we can register for this event. And then when you do this, in the timing application, your entries will automatically show here, and in the timing software, you'll have the entries automatically available to queue up cars for grid and so on. However, some people don't want to use our registration system. They may want to use MotorsportReg or another provider. When you do this, we can basically import the entries into SidewaysData, and you still get to use the timing application. You still get the live results and so on. So what I'm going to do real quick is just show how to do that. So we're going to go to the homepage, SidewaysData.com. I'm going to go to For Organizers, Organizer Sign In. And then I'm already signed in, so I'm going to go to my organizer dashboard, and I'm going to create an event. So we're going to create a blank event. We're going to say this is a rallycross event, and we're going to say it's import test 2. And we're not going to change any dates or anything. That's fine. We're not going to set any description right now. We're going to just say it's at that place. Now, here's kind of where the important part is. So the way SidewaysData works today is the timing and entry system is tied to payment options. So for example, if I have a payment option, which is like Sunday, then when you're viewing entries in the timing app, you may want to have things organized so that you can tie people's results to the day that they attended, I guess, if that makes sense. So when you export stuff from MotorsportReg, you're going to see this segment name column. So for the example, for these organizers, what we have is we have Sunday and skills drill. So when we import in SidewaysData, we need to make sure that we have payment options that match these. So for example, we're going to add skills drill, and we're going to say it's $50 just to kind of to have that information in the system. And then we're going to add another one, and we're going to call this Sunday only. So what the system will do is it will try to find an exact match, and if it can't find an exact match, it will find the next best one. So it just says demo here. I'm just gonna put Sunday only. So we're gonna save that. And we could fill out all this other information if we wanted to, but we're not gonna do that right now. So our event is saved. We can start importing and things like that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here to find our event. So we call it import test 2. We're going to do import from MotorsportReg, and what we have is this thing, this file, and we've already done this. We verified a payment option so the event matches the segments as MotorsportReg. If it doesn't, you can always just do it again. So we submit that, and then what it's going to do is it's going to give us a preview. So imports are kind of complicated because you could have online registration on SidewaysData.com, and you could import from MotorsportReg if you had both running at the same time, for example. You could have a scenario where someone somehow registers on twice. So just in case, what we do is we say what action to do here on the import, so you can ignore rows if you want. In some cases, it might find a match and it might say update, and you don't want it to update the existing entry. So for example, if someone already registered with the number 7 in Mod Hall or whatever, then maybe in this row it will default to the update option, and it might overwrite that entry, right? Which you might not want, particularly if you're running the same import multiple times. So let's say you run the import a couple days before the event to test, and then you run the import the day of the event. You might not want to overwrite something. So in here, if it says update, you can always just change it to add or ignore. So we'll review this real quick. So we have the entry number, we have the name, what day or what payment option they have selected, and you can always say if they're paid or not if you'd like. And then there's our vehicle information. You can add a note if you need to. So then what we can do is that if we're working but we don't want to submit that yet, we can do save for later, and that's just going to save this whole form, and it's not going to submit it yet. But we're going to run the import now. So we're going to import this. So we see we added 22 entries, and if we go to view our event, let's just find the import test 2. We can see that our entries are imported. If we need to, rerun everything, you can bulk delete them. You don't want to do this after. You're not going to want to delete them after your event starts, because the times will be tied to these entries. and that will delete their time. So bulk delete is useful. Just be careful with it. So what we're going to do now is we've imported our entries, so we're going to open our event. So this is the desktop timing application. So you can get this from sidewaysdata.com/download. It is free, provided with the registration software. So we're going to do import test2, and we're going to download that. And then we're going to load this event, and we're going to open in a new window. So essentially, this timing software will work offline. So if you want to just download everything before the event, go to the event, you can do that. But it also works online and supports the live timing to the website. So we can see here, here's everything we just imported from MotorsportReg. Here's all the drivers. We can sort them by entries and so on. And when someone comes up to the timing tent in the morning, you can just do Control F and you can search for their number. And then you can say, oh, you've paid. And if you want to add entries, you can just do Control E to add an entry, and you can fill out the new row. And then that automatically, oops, weird bug there. That automatically adds them to the timing system. So if we go over to times, we can see we don't have any times yet. But if we do Control Q to queue up a car, we can say number 7 is starting. And now as the timing system, whatever you're using, if it's Race America or JA circuits or what have you, as it sends times over to the computer, it's going to fill them out in the order you have them listed here. And then as cones get called in, we can simply add in penalties for cones, or you can, do like add gate and so on. One thing that you're going to want to do probably a lot is use the keyboard and not the mouse. So like, for example, for penalties here, we can hit P and then gate, cone, and then save. So what I did was I hit P, I hit G for gate, and then C for cone, and then I can hit S, and then it will just save that. And again, we can, if we want to just remove them, if someone calls in, actually that was on the wrong car. So I have this row highlighted, I'm going to go P, so I'm going to hit the Alt key this time. I'm going to hit Alt, C, G, and it's just going to remove those. I hit S to save it, right? And then down here you can see nothing to upload. It says on the bottom right. So that means that data has, those changes have already been uploaded to the server. You can see the complete change log here. So I'll make this bigger. You can see this is everything that we've done since I started this demo, basically. So all these changes are uploaded to the server. And actually what we can do, just to show kind of the timing working, is we can add a raw time. So we'll say James kind of started here, and we'll say he has a 101. So this is not automatic timing. This I'm doing manually just because I don't have my timing already worked up. So we've added a time for James. We see it's uploaded here. So what we're going to do is go to our event, just to kind of show the live timing. So we import test2. So we'll do get links and view the results. So this is our timing page. So we can see that number 7 doesn't have a time yet, but if we go down to here we go. So James live timing is at 101 seconds. And this is on the website. So you can have this with a QR code at your site. People can come up and they can scan the code and just go to this page, and this will automatically update. So if I'm in the timing application, and let's say someone calls in another cone on James, we can see down here it's a one changed upload and then it went away. So if we go over here, we should see that time update. Actually, I think it already updated, right? Because he has one cone. Yeah. So we see now that cone's been added. This was automatically updated live. And what we can do is we can do ignore no time at the top. So the competitors have these same options. So I'm going to do ignore no time, and it's going to show you everyone that's just gone so far. And we can show their vehicles too. So this is the Honda Civic. And this supports multi-day events. So right now what it's doing split by day. You can see this checkbox here. So it's showing for 8/12 what the times were. So if I load up this timing application on 8/13 and I start adding in times. So let's say, for example, we got 7:10 and they were a little bit faster. They ran a 95. So you Control Enter to save that. So we're just going to change this date real quick. We're going to say it actually was on the 8/13. Just time travel a little bit. So we're going to see now on the live timing page, let's say I'm on my phone or whatever. We see over here now this is 8/13, and we see James ran the 95. And if we want to, we can combine them all into one day, but we're not going to do that. Or at the top, we can filter to to whatever day we want to. Now, one thing is that when you have a multi-day event, it will automatically filter to the current day. So if you have cumulative timing, that could be one thing to consider. You might want to tell people just to go for all days when you view the timing. But if you're just, like most events, just having timing done per day, then it's just going to default to the day that event was for. In the timing app itself, we can look at the results. So just like we can on the website, we can do ignore no time and see the times and so on. So if someone calls in and says, how many times do you have for 710 mode front, we can just go to results and we can see that they have one run here. You could also sort by entry if you wanted to in the times list. This isn't going to change the order times coming over the timer, so you can sort this as you need to. The times from the timer are going to be filled in based on the queued number here. And then if we need to, we can move things up and down in queue. But yeah. Oh, and if we want to, we can filter the. I don't know why it's just saying 13 and 14. I think it's an off by one thing, but we'll fix that. Yeah, so that's kind of it. If someone signs up on the website, let's say after the event has started and after you've done the initial download here, you're going to probably want to go and do the re-download button just to pick up their entries from the website. Just kind of one little gotcha, not really related to the import, but just kind of in general. So that's kind of how you import stuff and how it ties into the timing system. We can go back here and we can view. So in the dashboard, whenever you're managing things, you're going to go to entries to kind of manage your entries. I know some people, they go to events and then they're like, where's my import option? But actually you're going to go to entries and then select your event, and then here are all the entries we imported. So that's kind of how SidewaysData ties in with MotorsportReg. Feel free to ask any questions and comments below, and SidewaysData is kind of an evolving platform, so we are adding and changing stuff. For the better, usually, I hope. So feedback is always welcome, and we'll add features kind of as people come up with useful things to add. So thanks for your time.